What's going on YouTube? You know who it is. Subscriptions video. 10 books, which seems very light because it is. I told myself when I heard them being announced and I heard all of the hubbub about the 3D covers, that I wasn't going to get any. So I didn't, subscription-wise. However, I went to a local shop of mine and saw the Count Vertigo one, which really caught my eye, so I picked that up, the 3D cover, and I picked up the Cyborg Superman cover, 3D cover. But I don't plan on reviewing them. I also got, somehow, they misshipped to me all of the .1 covers that I didn't want. They shipped them to me, but I didn't get charged. So I'm going to send them an email and see, and hope I don't get charged later. I didn't check my account, but they've been nothing but helpful to me since I started with their service, so tell them so they don't lose money. 10 books. Jump right into it. Loved a lot of these books this week. Avengers AI number 3. This book is fantastic. We have Vision, who was completely obliterated by this Sentinel of the last issue, and he has just millions and billions of his nanites just laying around. Hank starts talking about he could collect them and then grow them, but what are they going to do with a bunch of, nanite visions around? After they think about it a little bit, they're wondering where his AI is. It's then discovered that his AI is with the villain, Demetrios, who is explained in this, and the character they give him is very interesting. Demetrios, as well as every other AI on the planet pretty much, was created by the virus that Hank had to create to kill Ultron. The virus itself had to improve itself and had to be pretty much self-aware, and it created kind of an AI universe called the Diamond, or an AI kind of base, if you will, a home for them. And Vision is related to all of them, since he is the direct descendant of Hank Pym. Hank Pym created him, so that's kind of, well, Hank Pym created Vision, or Hank Pym created Ultron, Ultron created Vision. Either way, Vision and Demetrios are in this kind of almost a country for every AI on the planet, and they're like treating Vision like he's a god. They're bowing to him, treating him like a king, and they're showing these different AIs that they have, the ones that are preparing for war, the ones that are eavesdropping on any kind of information that they may hear about them. And it's become aware that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to bomb them. However, S.H.I.E.L.D. gave Hank an option to go see it first and try to stop it without bombing it. However, they don't know that. They think S.H.I.E.L.D. is attacking. It seems that they want Vision to help them defend themselves, and they want to attack humanity and attack mankind. It's a very big concept for this book, because I feel like this book isn't going to be referenced anywhere else. But I'm digging it right now. The last line of this says, so what is it, Vision? Are you an Avenger or are you AI? And I believe, to me, it's kind of dumb, because I know what he's going to say. He's probably going to say both, and then it's all going to be resolved. But I hope not. I love the Vision. I love seeing the Vision. This is the story is just the main character of the Vision, and I can't express how much I love the Vision as a character, and I love what Sam Humphries is doing with this book. Read Avengers AI, give it a shot, because it'll definitely be worth your time. Next we have a book, probably the bottom book this week for me, Superior Spider-Man number 17. Disappointingly, I'd have to say that this is the first issue of Superior Spider-Man that I didn't enjoy. It opens up with Spider-Man 2099, and he is, as always, fighting Alchemax. Excuse me. And I'm fine with Spider-Man 2099. I like seeing him. I don't know what this cape thing is about. I was told it was in the cartoon or something sometimes. I don't know. I've never seen the cape before. But he's fighting Alchemax. They're saying words that aren't swear words, like "what the shock." It's just it gets a little annoying after about 10 pages of it. Eventually we go back to, our Spider-Man, and he's tracking down Stone, who's trying to take over. I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about the Stone family history or any of the chemical place they're buying. I don't know enough history about the businesses, I guess, of the Spider-Man universe to enjoy this. I don't think I can enjoy this without knowing all the business practices of the Stones and all of the corporations working. I just feel like I can't enjoy this to the full extent. It was okay, but I mean, it's definitely not going anywhere off my pull. But I'd like to see a little more of it. It seems that we're going to have Spider-Man 2099 versus Superior Spider-Man next issue. Now we have a number 1, which as soon as I saw the solicitation for it, I had to pick it up. Reality Check number 1, and this book is about a writer. Well, no, I'm not going to tell you what the book's about. I'm going to tell you what this issue is about, because the solicitation kind of tells you what the whole book's about rather than this issue. In this issue, we have this writer who, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Willard Penn. His name is Willard Penn, and he's trying to be a comic book artist and trying to be a comic book writer. And DC and Marvel, it actually says this in here, DC and Marvel are coming after him. They're always asking him if he's busy, but they never give him any work. He's pitching comic books to smaller companies, and they're saying they have to tie him down. They have to tie him down. We know Marvel and DC are after him. And it eventually tells us more about him, more about his life. After he sells his book, he doesn't really have anybody to call because he devoted his life to making his art. He kind of doesn't do anything but draw and write. And he tells the story of his brother, who was kind of the more athletic, the more outgoing, the more popular one, but also the better artist of the two. That's what he thinks of when he sells it, that his brother would really, really enjoy it. But it tells how they were at a college party, his brother helped him get laid for the first time, and then his brother got in a fight, and I guess his brother hit his head off the pavement really hard, and while he was driving to the hospital, he died. So he couldn't save his brother. And this character that he's drawing is called Dark Hour, I believe, something along those lines. The way he's explained and the way he's pitching this character to the companies is a Batman with libido. He just wants romance. He wants companionship. He's so lonely that that's all he wants. So he is kind of the dark crime fighter, but he's doing it all because of his personal life and because he's lonely and he just wants some companionship. At the end of this issue, this Dark Hour character knocks on his window and says, "I need your help." And it's pretty incredible. There's a part in here where he starts telling a story about some Dark Hour, about how he has a girlfriend, kind of not. But now, 0 hours at his door, he says, "I'm not in your head anymore, obviously, and I need your help." It was very fun. It was not expected. I really liked this. I don't know if this is an ongoing or not, but whether it is or not, I'm on it because I really liked this. It was different. It was something completely different. It made me look at things from a different way. And I like the aspect of a book written about a writer who's writing a book that's come to life. It's a wonderful concept to me, and I can't wait to read more of this. I recommend it. Iron Man number 15. We have the Rogue Recorder 451 here sitting on a throne of Iron Man helmets. And this is kind of it seems like it's the wrap-up of the God Killer saga, if you will, the secret origin of Tony Stark, I guess you could call it. But they're in the God Killer armor, flying towards Earth as a torpedo. The Recorder wants him to take control of it, to stop it. Tony's already found out he can't. He ends up finding his armory inside of the armor. He finds his armory inside of the God Killer armor, which is the armor that's 3 miles high or 5 miles tall, whatever. And he creates a bunch of suits, which he's surprised. He says, "You don't know my family," and they're all hardwired to him, so the Recorder can't hack it. He also ends up taking out the Recorder's hacker drive or whatever, which seems to be right where his heart is. And the Recorder's kind of crying, saying he messed up his calculations. It stops the God Killer from destroying Earth at the very last minute. It says abort. But then it says that it's about to shift into unreality, or it's about to shift out of reality. And the Recorder says he has to destroy well, he can't destroy it, but he has to hide it the best he can. He's going to hide the armor and Tony Stark inside of or outside of reality, I guess. Something along those lines. And the next issue looks like it's going to be Tony versus the God Killer armor, which I feel like they're stretching a little bit. And I also feel like this story is going on way too long. It's still good, but it's getting more bland every issue, and so is this Recorder character, because he doesn't have much character dimension. If you want the digital code, I believe it's available. Shoot me a message. I hope that ends. I really do. Now we have, not the book, that arc. Now we have All New X-Men number 16. Chapter 2 of the Battle of the Atom. And here's a problem I have with Battle of the Atom. Didn't read, I'd imagine it's Battle of the Atom number 1, that the first chapter this was in. Didn't read it. Reading this, apparently nothing happened. Apparently Cyclops, because they had a recap page, apparently Cyclops got attacked by a Sentinel, and history was erasing itself and rewriting itself, and then that one new X-Men they have brought him back to life. Whatever. And I guess they then decided that they were going to send the original X-Men back to where they belong, because the time stream is messed up. But then it says that the future X-Men appeared. Now, it says this in a recap page. They don't even show up until about the 6th page of this book. So they told me what was going to happen in this book on the recap page of this book. It was a little confusing. Another thing is, when they show up, they're all advanced mutations, kind of. Iceman is an advanced mutation, and he's just this giant ice monster who doesn't even seem like he can speak English. Beast looks more like a ram sheep than anything, just a big ram sheep. He has big horns. He actually looks pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. And then we have an older Kitty Pryde. We have an old Deadpool. And Wolverine is just going and talking to all these people and saying, I know you, okay, I know who you are. Comes to this one girl and says, okay, I don't know who you are. And she says she's a runaway, they met a few times. But then that's it, they don't talk about it. And then the big reveal at the end of this is that Jean Grey is the other one. Why didn't Wolverine talk to her? Why didn't Wolverine say, who are you? It was strange to me why it stopped like that. You also have young Jean Grey noticing something is wrong with these people. She can't read their minds. Tries to get young Hank to leave with her. Not Hank. Yeah, Hank. Tries to get young Hank to leave with her. He won't, so Scott ends up leaving with her. They steal a ship and fly off somewhere. That's when they reveal that it's older Jean Grey. I don't understand what's going on. I'm not enthused with this event. I'm going to still read whatever's in my crossovers, but I'm absolutely not hunting down any Battle of the Atom books. Digital code available if you want it. Even though I told you everything that happens. This is a new book I gave a shot, just because I'm really confident in Hickman's writing. This is called God is Dead, number 1. This is the End of Days variant cover. I don't know if it's really a variant, but it's one of the covers, the End of Days cover. And I see a lot of parallels between this and Infinity, although in different ways. This opens up, and there's all these disasters happening. There's the temperature dropped 86 degrees centigrade in 12 minutes. It's raining just for hours and hours. There's huge sandstorms in Egypt, and it has the mythological gods coming back. It shows Zeus taking the throne and saying lightning is back, referring to himself. It then shows just all these things happening and just society taking a change into more primitive and polytheistic beliefs, and they're all kind of practicing these things. There's different groups for who's following what god, and they all have their own sections of the world, I guess. But then you start to see that it seems that Odin is bringing together all of the mythological gods. So you have the Buddhist gods, and you have the gods of the Middle Americas, of the Mesoamericas. You have the Indian gods. Well, I guess those would be the Hindu gods. You have the gods, the Zeus, that side of mythology, and you have Odin, and he's just bringing all these gods together. The Aztec gods, like I said, the Indian gods, all of them are coming together, and they want to take Earth for themselves. And it kind of reminded me of Infinity, of how Thanos wants to take Earth for himself, and he kind of established himself with this hierarchy of these powerful creatures that kind of appear to be gods. Hickman is incredible. I really enjoyed this. It was very different, and if you're not trying to think too much about religion, or you just want your comics to be kind of lighthearted and away from anything religion, or you don't want to question anything, don't get this book. But if you like Hickman as a writer, you'll kind of know where he's coming from. Or if you just want to read something that's going to make you think a different way, Not as much as what you believe in, but just think as you're reading a different way. Because it's just kind of mind-boggling. It's this huge scope he's trying to cover. And I hope he pulls it off. I feel like he takes these huge bites out of things, and then chews them pretty tiny, and then just finishes it. And it usually turns out well, but sometimes a huge bite leads to you not being satisfied when you're done with it. Either way, issue 1 is a success in my book, and I will definitely be picking up the rest of these. And I have nothing but good things to say about this. Next we have Deadpool Kills Deadpool, number 3. And just like the previous 2 series, this one is not lacking. Although this one seems to have a more lighthearted tone to it, even though it's Deadpool killing Deadpool. There's more of a lighthearted tone. You have Lady Deadpool taking Deadpool into a secret bunker where they have weapons to only kill Deadpools. They end up killing Wolvie-Pole, who's a Wolverine Deadpool. They kill evil Deadpool, it seems. They actually end up killing Galactus-Pole somehow. Actually, no, they kill Galactus-Pole because Lady Deadpool, who is kind of slowly shown in this book, sacrificed herself with the ship to crash into him. And at the end of this, you actually have some sweet characters. You one of them kind of paying homage to a Kirby character, Devil Dinosaur, and it's called Deadpool Dinosaur, and Moon Boy is still on his back. You also have Deadpool the Duck, which is a play on Howard the Duck, and you have Deadpool, which is a play on MODOK. Or Modam, I'd imagine MODOK. But these are just so fun. If you're a fan of the Marvel Universe as a whole, you need to read these, because although you may hate Deadpool, you will laugh at some of these incantations of him in the different universes. It's just a fun book all around, even though it's killing, and some of the killing does get a little brutal now and then. It's just a very fun book, and I really like what Colin Bunn's doing, and I hope he just writes Deadpool miniseries just forever. Just keeps writing miniseries of him killing things. The next one could be Deadpool Kills Ducks. I'll watch it. Deadpool Kills the Zoo. Why is Deadpool killing all these animals? Deadpool Kills Europe. Deadpool Kills... I don't know. Just keep writing them, because I'll read them, and I'll pay you money. You can have my money. Next, we have a book that's just been phenomenal, and this is only issue 3, and I can't gloat enough about how great it is. Superior Foes of Spider-Man, number 3. One thing I noticed when I opened this book up is there is a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of words in this. But it's great the whole way through. I'm not on a page looking forward at all these words thinking, oh, I can't believe, what are they saying? I'm just fully enthralled in every single paragraph, and every single thought bubble, every single speech bubble. It's a great book all around. The characters working together is phenomenal. Boomerang is trying to... Well, it starts off with Boomerang telling the story of Silvermane, about how he had a robotic body, his head was gone. There's a lot of characters in here you don't see a lot anymore that just start popping up. You have the Owl, and I haven't seen the Owl in forever, and he pops up here. I guess he's the one that has Silvermane's head. Fing Fang Foom pops up for a minute. That was pretty awesome. And somebody else pops up at the end. I can't remember right now. But a lot of talk about the old Thunderbolts in here. Not the current series, the last series, and not when they became Dark Avengers. Kind of the first incantation of them, and then the incantation of them from Civil War is in here. Because Boomerang, as well as his new parole officer, the Beetle, a.k.a. Mach 7, or whatever number he associated himself with at the time, they were both Thunderbolts. They're talking to each other. They go to kind of a Supervillains Anonymous in the bottom of a church. Mr. Bong's there, I believe. It's just this book is so fun, but yet it stays serious, and it keeps you there and wanting to see what's happening. I can't stress enough that I want everybody to read this book, because I don't want it to go anywhere. And I think it's something that not enough people are reading, and it's different. And I know different probably doesn't sit well with a lot of people, but I absolutely love this book, and I hope other people read it. Next we have a contender for Pick of the Week, which is kind of always a contender. This book's always solid, and it would have been Pick of the Week, but I'll let you know about that during the Pick of the Week. XMen Legacy, number 16. Last issue, David decided he was going after Scott. He was going after Cyclops. He's going to kill him for killing his father. And this book just brings the action. Although the last 15 books had a little bit of action here and there, and just kind of a lot of, more mental battles, this one is just straight battle. the whole issue is just David kind of showing off his power. And he attacks the X-Men, all of the X-Men, the new ones, the old ones, and he's just pretty much just destroying them. They can't do anything. Magneto's throwing cars at him and gloating about his helmet, and he says, you forgot about one thing, you forgot about gravity. So I guess he alters gravity to make the helmet go off of him, and then just puts him to sleep with a snap of his fingers. He convinces Magic that she doesn't believe in magic. And I guess he's using like a hypnotic power. She looks into his eyes, and she doesn't believe in magic, so she can't use her teleportation. She can't use anything because she doesn't believe in it. This book was just incredible. The way that he is just molding Legion into being this sane character who with all these crazy powers, but still threatening that he's unstable so he can get his points across, is incredible. You actually have, at the end here, Legion says, you know, I could destroy you here, but I want a fair fight, hand-to-hand combat. It looks like him and Cyclops are going to fight. And I took a peek at the next cover, and it's kind of like Legion in a corner. Like, corner of a ring, like Rocky style. Cyclops actually says, I'm a trained martial artist, so you don't want to do this. And he says, I want a fair fight. This book is phenomenal. I know more people have caught on to this since the trade came out. Please read this. Because out of all the books I told you to read, if you don't pick up any of those and you pick up this one, I'll be satisfied. Because this book is incredible. And now, as I alluded to earlier, the pick of the week, which is Infinity, Part 2 of 6. And this book almost wasn't the pick of the week. And I'm going to give spoilers on this, so if you don't want any Infinity spoilers, I guess you could just leave the video now. I usually just ramble after the last book anyway, that nothing you really care about. So if you don't want spoilers, you can leave now. Just the way that the Inhumans are being brought forth as this ultimate powerful race, and the way Black Bolt is as this noble king, I'm so happy to see that, because I've been an Inhumans fan since I started reading comics, and I'm so glad they're finally coming into their own, and they're finally being treated with the respect. I also love the generals that Thanos has set up for himself and the armies that he's put behind his generals. I absolutely love the fact that they threw me a twist at the end of this. He shows up on Attilan, the one, his one, Glavey, Corvus Glaive or something, shows up and says that the Inhumans need to make an offering. And they say, what do you want, what is your offer, what do you want as an offering? And he said, the heads of every person, every Inhuman, 16 to 22. After hearing that, Black Bolt goes into that thing that his brother created where sound is minimized to a single pitch and his destructive voice is nullified, and he calls the Illuminati and gives Reed Richards the files of the Inhumans, the secret files of everything. And he says, this is what Thanos is after. I'm going to tell him that I'm not bringing him an offering. They ask him why, what does he want? And he says he only wants the death of one person, not all of them. And they said, who? And Black Bolt looks at him and says, his son. Wow. 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 Thanos has a son. Who did he sleep with to have this son? This son must be an Inhuman if he's living on Attilan. I am mind blown. I cannot wait to see what happens. I am so excited about this book. I'm so excited about this event. After the bitter, disgusting, pukey taste in my mouth after Age of Ultron, this has filled it with gumdrops and cotton candy, and I'm just drooling at every week for this book to come out. I cannot wait to see what happens. Thanos is my favorite character. The Inhumans are my favorite race. I'm so excited to see what happens. This is awesome. Nothing else to say. Incredible. Like I said, I may get some DC, those one-shots, reviews up. I don't know. I might just read them. Comic Vertigo one was good. The Cyborg Superman one was alright. I like how they actually made it believable, though, that this is not the time for that. Thank you guys for watching. If you want this Infinity code, take it, because it's worth it. If you want any other codes, Superior Spider-Man's the only one that's not available. So if you want any of the other codes, just shoot me a message and I'll get them to you. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.